Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to show you how to automate another test case under the register account functionality. The test case number is 19. So let's get started. Before I start automating this particular test case, let's try to understand this test case first, okay, in a manual manner. Later, I'm going to automate with the help of Selenium Java automation. So what is this test case? Verify whether the leading and trailing spaces entered into the register account fields are trimmed. What does it mean? What is meant by leading and trailing spaces? Let me explain what exactly the leading and trailing spaces are. For example, if I am typing my name here, Arun space Motor, if I am typing my name like this, okay, there are no leading and trailing spaces here before and after the name, okay. So this particular space between these two words is not the leading, neither the leading or not trailing space. Okay. Before this particular text starts, if you give some space here, that comes under the leading space. If you give some space after the text, that becomes the trailing space. Leading space, trailing space. Okay. So such kind of text, okay, such kind of text with the leading and trailing spaces, if you enter into the different fields in the register account field, okay, register account page, and try to create an account, okay, whether this leading and trailing spaces will get trimmed or not, okay. So in some fields, that leading and trailing spaces should get trimmed. In some fields, they need not get trimmed, okay. There are, you see in the register account page, there are a lot of fields. So in some of the fields, these leading and trailing spaces need to get trimmed, okay. They should get removed, okay, on typing, okay, using the automation code or manual. They should not be allowed. Rather, it should not reject the things. Rather, it should automatically trim the text by removing the leading and trailing spaces while storing this details as part of creating the account. Okay. So let's find out. Okay. Let's find out whether this particular leading and trailing spaces entered into the different fields in the register account page are getting trimmed or not. For some fields, they should get trimmed. For some fields, it's not compulsory. Okay. So for this, guys, we need to open the application URL, navigate to the register account page, and then enter all the details into the fields like, first name, last name, email, telephone, password confirm, newsletter. Okay, in as per of these fields, we should be adding the leading and trailing spaces to the applicable fields like first name, last name, email, telephone, password, and password confirm fields. And then finally, we need to click on the continue button. So the account should get created. After the account gets created, right? After the account gets created, we have to verify. Okay, we have to verify whether the leading and trailing spaces entered into the first name, last name, email, and telephone fields are automatically getting trimmed or not. Okay. So whatever the leading and trailing space enter into, not all the fields into the first name, last name, email, and telephone need to get trimmed. Okay. Should get trimmed automatically after the account got created. How to verify that? I'm going to show you. So for that, let's start automating this particular test case, guys. Okay. I'll go to this particular test case and create a new class. I'll just name this class as 019. Okay. And click on finish. I'll create a method here. I'll just name this method as public void. Okay. Verify leading and trailing spaces. Okay. Registering account. While registering account, verify leading and trailing spaces. Okay. So here write at the rate test annotation, hover the mouse on this at the rate test, and import this at the rate test annotation from testng library. Save this. Okay, it's not get imported. Control Z. What is the problem here? Hover the mouse on at the rate test and import it from testng library. It should get imported actually, but what's happening here? So let me do one thing. Let me Maven and say update project once. If any problem is there, it will get resolved. So still it's not getting what's happening when I say the annotation is dissolved for this location. It is saying. So this is a class, and okay, so this should be a method, guys. I forgot circular brackets. You see, I'm not able to understand what's going wrong here. I thought everything is fine, but here I forgot to provide circular brackets, because of which it's saying wrong location. Now you should see everything is working fine. Sometimes we have to do mistakes and learn a lot of stuff. Okay, new Chrome driver. Okay, and then Control Shift O. Then I'll write the code driver dot manage dot window dot maximize, then driver dot manage dot timeouts. timeouts dot implicitly wait, then duration dot of seconds. Okay, then I'll give 3 seconds, something like this, and say driver dot get provide the application page URL, provide the application page URL, that is this application, this tutorialsinja.com slash demo application URL. Copy this application URL and go to that code and paste it here. Okay. Once you go to that application page URL, you need to be taken to the register account page. For you to get taken to the register account page, I need to inspect this my account option. And in the HTML code, I have this my account option, Control F, span text is equal to my account. Okay. So this XPath expression is locating the HTML code for which is indirectly locating the my account option, only one element. Copy this such kind of XPath expression and come back here and write down driver dot find element by dot XPath. Give the XPath expression of that and simply say dot click. This will select the my account drop menu. After that, we need to select the register option, inspect the register option, and here we have the register option. Copy this. It is a link text. Then write down driver.find element by dot link text, provide the link text locator, and simply say dot click. Once I click on that, the register option will get selected. You'll be taken to the register account page. Now I need to enter the details into first name, last name, email, telephone, password, and password confirm fields. Okay. So I'll try to enter all the details. Okay. In all these fields like first name, last name, email, telephone, the if I give some text with some leading and trailing spaces, that should get trimmed. Okay. It's not compulsory in password and password confirm. The spaces are also considered as password itself. So here, not a problem, guys. But here, first name, last name, email, telephone, they should get trimmed. Here, no need of getting trimmed. So let's see whether this first name, last name, email, and telephone text entered with the leading and trailing spaces are getting trimmed in this particular application or not. Okay, for these fields or not. For that, first I'll inspect this first name field and copy this input first name as which is ID here. Come back here and simply write down driver.find element by dot ID, provide the ID locator and say dot send keys, and here I'll write, here I'll give some leading space in this double quotes. I'll give some leading space and then I'll give my name, first name, and some trailing space. Okay. There's some trailing space. Either you can give a single thing also, not a problem, or you can concatenate and give. So this is also fine. This is also fine. If you give like this also, not a problem. Okay. If you give like this also, it's not a problem. Or you can provide plus symbols and provide driver.find element by dot ID, provide the ID locator of the last name field, provide the ID locator of the last name field. So this is the ID locator of the last name field, provide it here and simply say dot send keys. And here, just write here, okay, like this and give space here, put a semicolon here. That's it. Okay. Then space, Arun will be entered here. Okay. And then trailing space, some trailing space will be given here also, some space. Last name will be entered here. And after that, some trailing space, leading and trailing. This is leading space, this is trailing space. Then email address, inspect the email address field, copy this ID and here come down. Okay. Driver dot find element by dot ID, provide the ID locator of the email field, say dot send keys. And here I need to give the email address, guys. How to give the email address? You see, a brand new email address need to be created every time. Here, I'll do one more thing, guys. I'll just copy this part, okay. And here I'll write string entered first name is equal to paste it here, okay. So here end first name, okay. So whatever the entered first name is there, that you will just directly provide here. That's better, okay. Here also string entered last name. I'll just give here whatever this entered last name is there. I'll copy this part and paste it here and put a semicolon here. And the same entered last name, I'm going to pass it here in the send keys command, which contains leading and trailing spaces. The next one, email address. I need to give the email address string email with leading and entered email, otherwise entered email. Okay. I'll simply say entered email is equal to then say plus, then say plus, then say plus, double quote. This is a leading space, this is a trailing space. Okay. And in between that, in place of the double quotes, right? Here in the common utilities, here in the common utilities, we have this method known as generate brand new email. I'm going to call that common utilities dot static method, right? So I can directly call. I'll just common utils dot generate brand new. This will automatically create a brand new email address with the timestamp that I already covered in the one of the previous sessions. Fine. Now entered email has come. That entered email I'm going to enter here, which contains this particular leading spaces and trailing spaces also. Okay. Then next one. What is the next one here? Some leading and trailing space, some email address. Okay. Let me select this here. I'll just give some leading and trailing spaces. This is leading space. This is trailing space. And here I'll give, okay, some random text. Okay, it becomes a brand new email address. It contains some leading and trailing spaces. Inspect this telephone field. Here into the telephone field also I'm going to give some leading and trailing spaces. String telephone, enter telephone, entered telephone is equal to some leading space, telephone number. The telephone number is 12345678890 and some trailing space. Okay, put a semicolon here and then write down driver dot find element by dot ID locator of the telephone field. Provide the ID locator of the telephone field, guys, and say dot send keys. And the send keys command enter the telephone field, telephone thing with the help of which contains some leading and trailing spaces. After this telephone number is entered into the telephone field, okay, with some leading and trailing spaces like this space, okay. Then I'll enter the normal password and confirm password. Whether you give leading and telling, there doesn't matter, guys. Okay, they will be accepted here. There's no need of checking any leading and spelling traces trimming here. Okay, it will not trim because spaces also will consider as a password, so we don't have to verify this part. Okay, simply give the password. You see, there is a problem with the password field. Okay, just press tab key and say 12345. Okay, here also 12345. Done. Okay. Then after entering the username and password here, okay, how to enter the username password here, I'll say input password field, copy this and simply write down driver dot find element by dot ID, provide the ID locator of the password field and simply say dot send keys and here write down double quotes and say 12345. Okay, 12345. And similarly, inspect the password confirm field, copy this and write down driver dot find element by dot ID, provide the ID locator of the input confirm field, password confirm field, dot send keys, put a semicolon and say 12345. Okay. After entering the 12345 as a password and password confirm field, I need to select. You no need of selecting this. Okay. You just need to select the privacy policy field. That's enough. Okay. It has a name locator. Copy this. Okay. So simply driver dot find element by dot name locator of the password confirm field and simply say dot click. After that, I need to click on the continue button. Inspect this continue button. Here value continue is there and input tag is there. Double slash input at the rate value is equal to continue. I'll give this XPath expression will locate this continue button. Come back here and write down driver dot find element by dot XPath. Give the XPath expression of the continue button and simply say dot. Simply say dot click, guys. Simply say dot click. Once I click on this continue button, guys. Okay. The account need to, you see here telephone. Okay, did I give more spaces? I don't know. I'll just give less spaces here otherwise. Okay, I'll just remove some spaces. Click on continue button. Is it getting created? Yeah, it's better that I create this, telephone number with less number. Otherwise, if you're going below above 32 characters, right, it's giving a problem. So we have to make sure that we don't have to go beyond 32 characters. That's okay. There's another verification will happen. Anyhow, after coming here again, I need to click on the continue button on this page, guys. Okay, after getting logged in. So here class button primary is there, control A, double forward slash A at the rate class is equal to give all the classes of that. Okay, multiple classes are there for the class attribute and also text function is equal to text between the tags, that is continue, text is there. This will locate the continue button. Copy this XPath expression and come back here and simply write down driver dot find element by dot XPath, provide the XPath expression of the continue button and say dot click. Dot click. Once I click on this continue button, guys, okay, you'll be taken to the account page. In the account page, so in the account page, guys, okay, in the account page, I need to go to the edit your account information and verify whether the the text entered into the first name field, last name field with the leading and email field and telephone field is getting trimmed or not. Okay, that's what we have to verify. How to verify that? I need to click on this inspect option. I need to right click on this and select the inspect option so that we get the HTML code of this thing. And it's a link text, you see, text between the tags I'm copying. And here I'm going to write down driver dot find element by dot link text, provide the link text locator of the, and say dot click and put a semicolon. I need to click on the edit your account information, guys. You'll be taken to this page. Now I need to retrieve all this particular thing. If you clearly observe here manually, guys, okay, the leading space is not removed yet. Okay, here also the leading space is not removed. For email, it got removed. For telephone field, not removed. Okay, any of the leading spaces and trailing spaces are not removed. Not removed. The test need to fail. Okay, so we have to verify. How to verify that? After going here, I have to inspect this first name field. It has an ID, guys. Input first name is the ID. Copy this, okay? Write down driver dot find element. I'll just write something like this, okay? Assert equals assert equals, okay? Here the expected should be there. Expected is what? Entered first name dot trim. Trim method I need to. This is string method which will trim the leading and trailing spaces, okay? And here whatever I'm trying to retrieve, right? Okay, driver dot find element by dot ID, the actual one, okay? The actual one, that is what is this, guys? Okay, input first name, okay, this particular ID field, and say simply say dot get text, okay? If it contains some leading and trailing spaces, it will not match with the, okay, if it contains some leading and trailing spaces, this retrieved text doesn't, if it contains, okay, dot get text, if it contains some leading and trailing spaces, then it will not match after trimming, right? The expected is after trimming, the leading and trailing spaces will not be there here, and here leading and trailing spaces are there here. This will fail the test, okay? Simple. Again, write one more assertion. The test will fail, guys, because manually also you have seen that it is, assert equals, and here also the same thing, guys. So we have to write last name. First you have entered the first name, right? You are writing the last name dot trim method, and here I need to write driver dot find element by dot ID locator of the last name field here. Inspect this ID locator of the last name field. Copy this and paste it here, and say dot get text. Okay, find elements, say dot get text. Okay, I'm just saying get text, and after that enter last name. If it doesn't match, then again it will fail. Definitely it's not going to match, because even after entering and saving, right, storing, right, you see leading and trailing spaces are there for both first name and last. But for email it got removed, okay? For email it got trimmed. So this is going to work fine, but this two assertions will fail. One of the assertion will fail, and the test will stop here itself in the 40th line, whether you write these steps or not. If in case this passes, then only the next assertions will be verified. So next one, assert equals again. Assert equals again, put a semicolon here, and entered email you just provide that here, and say trim method of the string class in Java, okay, which will remove the leading and trailing spaces. Here write down driver dot find element by dot ID, provide the ID locator of the email field. Inspect this email field here. Where is that input email ID is there? Copy that and provide that here, and say dot get text. Okay, dot get text. Once that is also done, go with the next one. Inspect this, and here we have an ID. Copy this ID, and here write down assert dot assert equals assert equals, and here write down assert equals enter telephone dot trim. Okay, then here write down driver dot find element. Okay, driver dot find element by dot ID, provide the ID locator of that telephone field, provide the ID locator of the telephone field, copy that, paste it here, and simply say dot get text, dot get text, dot get text. Okay, so it will retrieve the text. Okay, and then if it matches with the after trimming, then it will pass, otherwise it will fail. Anyhow, this particular test is going to fail, guys. We know that in advance. So if this particular test fails, the browser will not close. So it's better you write something like this: public void. If you write driver.quit and if one of the assertion fails, this particular browser will not close. Whether the test will pass or fail, as explained in the previous test cases here. Okay, public void tear down, I'll write tear down method or closure method, any name you can give. And here write at the rate after method annotation from TestNG, which will run after every TestNG test method here in this particular class. Now here I'm going to write driver.quit method I'm going to write, but here driver is not recognizable because it's declared here. I need to make it global. Copy this part and take it to the class level, put a semicolon here and remove this driver here, then it will be okay. Okay, fine. Now whether the test will pass or fail, this tear down method will be called and the browser will close. Let's run this code and see. Obviously guys, okay, the test is going to fail in this 50th line because it is not going to trim. As you have seen it manually, the trimming is not happening. So for the first name and last name field. So for in the 50th line itself, you see the script will fail. Okay. You see the script already got failed. Expected Arun, but found some space or something it is saying. Okay. But found, expected Arun, but found. Okay. Why it's not saying space Arun or something? There's a problem. How can we get that? The get text. Okay, sorry, I'm using get text here. So here, if I have to retrieve this particular text, right? Okay, where is Arun text here? In the value attribute. So I should not be using get text here. Rather, I should be using what? Dot get attribute of value. Okay, in the value attributes value of the HTML code, value attributes value of the HTML code of this particular element, we have that. So same thing I have to repeat here. Instead of get text, I have to use get attribute of value. Get attribute of value dot get attribute of value dot get attribute of value. And after all this is done, now run the script again. You will see that this time you will see the test will fail definitely, but we'll get a proper message saying why it got failed. Okay, in the output console you'll get in the test engine results you'll get what is the proper reason. Okay, here expected Arun, but here leading and trailing spaces are not removed in the actual application, but expected one is without leading and trailing, so it got failed in the 50th line. Okay, in the 50th line only it will fail, guys. You see in the 50th line in the code it will get failed. The remaining assertions will not be running. If this passes, remaining assertions will be verified. As any of the one fails, the test need to fail, and as per the expectations, the test got failed, guys. Okay. Fine then. So guys, so this is all about automating the test case number 19, guys. As we have clearly seen, the test case number 19 got failed, guys. Okay, failed because one of the assertion got failed in the manual way and automation way also. In the next sessions, I'm going to show you how to automate the other test cases, that is 20, 21, if required 22 also. Okay, possible. Okay. Fine, let's see 20 and 21. I'll try to automate in the next. These are very simple ones. Both of them I can automate in the next session. After that, we'll think about the 22 and all those stuff remaining. We'll go one by one the same way. Okay. So guys, that's all for this session. In this session, I have automated the 19th test case of the register account functionality. In the next session, I'm going to automate the 20 and 21 test case of this particular register account functionality of this tutorial Ninja application. So see you in the next session. Till then, see you. Bye bye.